All right. Today, we start two-digit divisors in long division. The division doesn't change at all. All we have to do is we have to do a little figuring to figure out what number goes on top. So it's a little more of a process rather than having the facts memorized. All right, let's start just off by doing one. Okay, what is a good strategy in figuring out what number goes in the top? Well, let's see. 39, it's a two-digit number. Does 39 fit into 24? No. So right away, we go ahead and we put those little X's to mark our spots. Just makes it easier. Put them up there. Okay. Now we have, how many times is 39 going to 242? We can use now the idea we've done in the past, rounding. Okay. If I round 39 to 40, then I can do some mental math to get close. I just need a number to get close, and then I'm going to use some space over here. I'm actually going to draw a line because I'm going to use the space over here. I'm going to be showing a lot of work. I'm going to be doing the problems. Okay. I'm going to use 40 around 39, the divisor, to 40 in my head, not for the problem, just in my head, to see how many times would 40 fit into 242. Well, 40 times 3 is 120, because 4 times 3 is 12 plus the 0. See how I can use that mental math? So 40 times 3 is way too small. So I'm going to jump up to 40 times 5. That's 200. 40 times 6 is 240. So using 40 got me really close. Now I'm going to take that 40 times 6, but I'm going to just, all I used it to get to was the 6. Now I'm going to go over here and write 39 times 6. I'm going to get the actual numbers and see if they work before I ever put them in the division problem. 9 times 6 is 54. 6 times 3 is 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, is 234 less than 242? Yes, it is, but it's not going to be, we're not going to be able to add, go to 7. So I'm going to take the 6, put it up in the answer, and I know that 6 times 39, because I've already done the work, is 234. Now I get to go right to the subtraction step. See how I did that? Using that space on the side. Now don't hide it. Don't try to do 39 times 6 in your head. Okay, go ahead and write it down. Then you've got the multiplication answer. You got everything done for you. Now I just subtract. I got to borrow. Make that a 12. 4 becomes a 3. 12 minus 4 is 8. 3 minus 3 is 0. 2 minus 2 is 0. So 8. I check. 8 is less than 39. I can bring down the next number. Now again, rounding 39 to 40. 40 times 2 is 80. That should fit. What is 39 times 2? I'm going to write it down over here. 18. 2 times 3 is 6. This 1 is 7. Now I've got the 2 and the 78. Because 39 times 2 is 78. I subtract. 13 minus 8 becomes 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's 5. 7 minus 7 is 0. Remainder 5. Okay, by rounding 39 to 40, I was able to get close enough to then do the multiplication on the side to see what fits. Okay, the division steps don't change. It's still divide, multiply, subtract, check, and bring down. Okay, let's try another one. This one, too, will allow us, it's a good problem conducive to rounding 61 to 60 because it's really close. Okay, 39 was close to 40, 61 was close to 60. You're going to find when you get numbers that are like 44, 45, and 46, rounding may not be the best idea, but you can still round to get closer. You're just going to have to maybe do some more math or more multiplying. Okay, again, I'm going to separate this section so I have some workspace over here to do my multiplying. Okay, I'm going to look and see right away. Okay, 61 obviously doesn't fit into 8. It never will. You've got a two-digit divisor and one number. Does 61 fit into 84? Aha, it does. I got an easier problem here. 61 goes into 84 only one time because 60 times 2 is 120, and that's definitely bigger. So 1 times 61 is 61. 4 minus 1 is 3. 8 minus 6 is 2. Okay, is 23 less than 61? Ooh, can we get a two-digit number of subtraction? Yes, we can, as long as it's smaller. 23 is smaller than 61. So I've checked. I can bring down the next number now, 2. Now, 61, how many times does it go into 232? Well, if I use 60, 60 times 1 is 60. 60 times 2 is 120. 60 times 3 is 180. 60 times 4 is 240. That sounds like it's going to be a little bit high. So I'm going to try it, but I'm going to take 61. Well, we know already, Because if we round it down, 60 times 4 is too big. So 61 times 4 is definitely going to be too big. So I'm going to do it times 3. I'm going to see what that is. 6 times 1 is 3. 3 times 6 is 18. 183. Okay? Put the 3 up here. And I put the 183 down here. And I'm going to subtract. Got to borrow. Becomes a 2. That becomes a 12. 2 becomes a 1. 12 minus 3 is 9. 12 minus 8 is 4. 1 minus 1 is 0. Is 49 less than 61? Yes, it is. Bring down the next number. That check step is so much more important in two-digit divisors because you're working with bigger numbers. Okay, now we know that 61 times 3 is 183. That's nowhere close to 497, so we're going to jump way up. So I'm going to go, okay, 60 times 6 would be 360. 60 times 7 would be 420. 60 times 8 would be 480. Okay, I'm going to go to 61 times 8. 8 times 6 is 48. Looks like it's going to be good. I'm going to put the 8 up here. I'm going to put the 488 down here, and I'm going to subtract. Got to borrow. 17 minus 8 is 9. 8 minus 8 is 0. 4 minus 4 is 0. I've got 9 is less than 61. I've got no more numbers to bring down. Remainder of 9. All right, let's look at one where the rounding is going to work, but it's not going to work as well. So we're going to have to do a little more guessing. Okay, 75 is our divisor. Okay, now sometimes with the 5s we can actually do the math without having to round. Because if I take 75 and double it, that's 150. So I can do every 2 groups of 75 and still do some easy mental math. So still going to draw my line here. Okay, 75 definitely doesn't fit anyone. 75 doesn't fit into 19 either. So 75 times 2 is 150. 3 75s would be 150 plus 75. That'd be 2 something that's too big. So I'm going to take 75. Whoops. Let's write the right number. 75 times 2. We already know that's 150. So it's 10, 14, 15. So 2 and 150. Going to subtract. 8 minus 0 is 8. 9 minus 5 is 4. We have 48. 48 is less than 75. Okay, bring down the next number. Now we've got a bigger number. Okay, if 75 times 2 is 150, we know that times 4 would be double 150, and that would be 300. So 75 times 4 we know is 300. Okay, we add another 150 to that. That'd be 2 more. 75 times 6 is going to be 450. So I've got all these problems written down. And which one is the closest? 75 times 6. If we add another 150, that'd be 600. That's way too big. So we know we can use the 6. 6 times 75, I've already done the work, is 450. Subtract 4. 8 minus 5 is 3. 34 is less than 75. So I have 26, remainder 34. Can I have a double-digit remainder? Yep, if it's smaller than the divisor. Remember, your remainder has to be smaller than the divisor, but as long as it's smaller, it doesn't matter how big it is, as long as it's smaller. Okay, now I'm going to have you practice some of these problems. Turn in your books to page 308. 308. Okay, problems 1, 2, and 3. Look at exercise 1 through 3. Would you round the divisor up or down to estimate the first number? Well, number 1, I would round and use 80 in figuring out that number. Number 2, I'd round down to 20. And number 3, I'd round 18 up to 20. So I've got numbers that I can use. But then again, I still have to find out the exact multiplication. That just gets you up close to it. Okay? Complete these 3 problems. Check back for your answers. Pause your video and begin now. All right, we're going to check these one at a time. If you get the wrong answer, I want you to pause the video, go back and see what you did wrong. I'm not going to show you the steps. I want you to see if you can figure it out. Okay? For number 1, you should have 51 remainder 3. If you got that right, stay with me. We're going to keep going. If you got it wrong, pause and go see what you did wrong, figuring out those numbers. Okay? Number 2, you should have 73. The 2 came out evenly. If you got that answer, stay with me. If not, pause your video, see what you did wrong. All right, moving on to number 3. Number 3, 58, remainder 17. All right, if you're stuck here and you got all 3 of them wrong in the process, come ask me for help. Or if you got 2 of them wrong. If you only got 1 wrong and you figured out what you did, you're ready to move on. Okay? Let's check out the next set of problems. They're also on this page. All right, copy these down on a piece of paper. And some of these are conducive to rounding. Some aren't as good, but you still got to figure it out. Pause your video and work these 3 problems now. Begin. All right, I'm going to work number 5 with you, and then I'm just going to give you the answers to 6 and 7 and see how we did. Okay? So we're going to copy down number 5 here. 3,651 divided by 74. Now, I like to use 75 because that's a number I can work with, because 75 double is 150, which means double that is 300. That's 75 times 4, and then I can get a close number. I'm always working to get something as close to so I can do the multiplication. Okay, so 74 will not go into 3, obviously, or 36. So we got 74 into 365. Well, if I use 75 times 2 is I know is 150. 75 times 4 is 300. Now that's close, and there's almost enough. So I'm just going to see what 74 times 5 will get me. Okay, 20. 7 times 5 is 35, 36, 37. We know that 74 times 5 is too big. So what's 74 times 4? 16, 28, 29. 296. 4 down, 296. Make sure all these numbers are lining up nicely like mine are. Borrow. 6 becomes a 5. That's borrow again. 3 becomes a 2. 15 minus 6 is 9. 15 minus 9 is 6. 69 is less than 74. Bring down the 1. Okay. 74 times 10 we know is 740. So I'm going to try 74 times 9. Because I know it's going to be close to that. 9 times 4 is 36. 9 times 7 is 63. 64, 65, 66. 666 definitely works. So that's times 9. 666. Subtract, got to borrow. 11 minus 6 is 5. 8 minus 6 is 2. And I have a remainder. 25. Okay, let's look at the answers for number 6. The answer for number 6 is 76, remainder 39, and the answer to number 7 is 82, remainder 6. All right. Hopefully you're doing well. If not, make sure you ask. Don't get stuck. Okay? It is time. Homework assignment today. Homework. And remembering. 7-15. Tomorrow we'll probably start working on our packets instead of remembering, but for today, there's a couple things in the remembering I want you to work on. So homework and remembering 7-15. Good luck. Do your best.
My life be like, yeah. My life be like, yeah. My life be like,
My life be like. Get your homework done.